Welcome to our exclusive deep dive into ECLUIVS 2025. Glowing Star. AAJ Hum reveal Karenj hidden secrets, pro tips, or full walkthrough Joe Apko Kaheen or Nahi Malaji. To Chelo Shurakardi Hain, or Explore Kardi Hain ECLUIVS Ka complete guide step by step. Fire.
It's going to be a jump. Now here it looked like a jump. There, this looks like a foul to me.
Yeah.
Indiana, and you can see Caitlin saying you were right in front.
Growth that we've had as a team, because early in the season we were just so inconsistent, and if teams were to do that, we would normally lose those games, but it just shows that we're getting closer, we're trusting each other, and we're just, I think that's the biggest part, is trusting and knowing that we can win those games even if they go on.
Caitlin Clark straight up lost it on the refs. And honestly, who could blame her? Sophie Cunningham got slammed to the floor like it was WWE, and the officials acted like it was just another Tuesday night pickup game. This wasn't a missed call.
There were so many ways in a close game and in game situation where we grew today that were huge for us, y'all. That will pay dividends. So great job. I'm proud of you guys. Everybody contributed. Everybody came in and gave us a lift. Kels, I know it was a tough shooting day, but the way you facilitated and that one big jumper that you made, right? We dug in and got stops when we needed to. I mean, big time win, y'all.
This was flat out embarrassing for the entire WNBA. The Indiana Fever still pulled out a nail-biting 78-74 win over the Seattle Storm. But this wasn't about the scoreboard. It was about the absolute clown show that went down on the court. Sophia just grabbed a clean defensive rebound, protecting the ball like a pro, when a Storm player straight up launched her to the hardwood, full-on linebacker mode. No basketball play in sight. And the ref, he was standing right there, front row, eyes on the play like he was watching a backyard cookout, not refereeing a professional league game. It was pure incompetence on display for everyone to see.
Oh! That's a PNW win! W's in the chat.
W's in the chat.
Oh my gosh. That one just aged me, but we're getting better. Shoot, good win. Win for win.
A dub is a dub, so keep on.
And Caitlin Clark, still sidelined for her 7th straight game with that stubborn groin injury, finally had enough. From the bench, she unleashed on the officials. You were right in front of her. Why did you change your mind? Her voice cut through the arena, and every fan watching at home felt it deep in their bones. Because she was saying exactly what we were all thinking. This whole officiating circus has officially become the WNBA's biggest crisis. And Caitlin Clark's fiery outburst has turned into the anthem for a league teetering on disaster. Refereeing, it's at rock bottom. And it's not just Indiana Fever.
And our recovery's going well. You know, it's just, I think for us staying the course and making sure that we're really diligent about each step that we take, and that we don't have setbacks, and that we're patient with it. I know she wants to be out here on the floor, and we want her out here on the floor, but making sure that she's ready is the most important thing. You know, I still don't know how far we are. We're going to take it one step at a time, one day at a time.
Fans calling it out anymore. Players, coaches, even rival fan bases are piling on because the blunders keep stacking up week after week, game after game. It's straight up embarrassing. Think about how wild this is. Sophie Cunningham gets slapped with a $500 fine just for posting a TikTok poking fun at the refs. Meanwhile, full-on body checks are happening in real games with 0 whistles. That tells you everything about where the WNBA's priorities are right now. And then Commissioner Kathy Engelberg has the nerve to say only losing teams complain about officiating. Someone better tell her that when your biggest star is getting beat up every night, it's not about winning or losing. It's about basic safety and professionalism. Even the league's most respected voices have had enough. Becky Hammond's
All of it. I don't even know what the players can do because the players aren't being protected. And I know so many of the times, like, we're talking about this when it comes to the Indiana Fever, but this does happen across the league. There are many plays that we could pull up. Do you guys have any suggestions on what can actually be done? The coaches get fined when they call them out to the media. Like, this is a top-down issue. This is a commissioner.
Been snapping in interviews while Kelsey Plum is walking into pressers covered in scratches, asking how she got mauled for 40 minutes, yet somehow only shot 6 free throws. But here's the twist. While the league is drowning in chaos, one player is rising above all of it. Sophie Cunningham delivered another clutch elite-level performance that reminded everyone exactly why she's the Fever's heartbeat, while Caitlin Clark remains out injured. Sophie Cunningham went off dropping 17 points on 5 of 6 shooting, including a nasty 4 of 5 from deep. And get this, she was the only Indiana Fever player to hit a single 3 all game. Fans have officially nicknamed her the Blonde Bomber because she keeps detonating from long range when the game's on the line.
And I got scratches on my face, I got scratches on my body, and these guards on the other team get these ticky-tack fouls, and I'm sick of it. I get fouled like that every possession. Ricky gets fouled like that in the post all the time, and they don't call it, and I don't know what else to do. Like, it's really frustrating though. I'm like, I feel, I mean, there's multiple shots at the end of the game, either into the third, into the fourth, where they're just coming and swinging, and they just...
Ever since that viral Connecticut Sun brawl, where she stood up for Caitlin Clark like a true enforcer, Sophie's confidence has been through the roof. Her social media exploded with 800,000 plus new followers. Her jersey sales skyrocketed, and she's fully stepped into the spotlight. But here's the best part. She's delivered. She's evolved from a scrappy role player into a certified WNBA star. Not just the Fever's muscle, but also their...
For advocating for players to throw other players on the ground. No, like we've seen so much of it throughout the WNBA. He watches this happen right in front of him. There's so much contact on the play and he does nothing. He doesn't blow his whistle. He doesn't stop the play. He doesn't call...
Most reliable offensive weapon. That combo rare. That's why fans can't get enough of her. Still, even Sophie's heroics couldn't hide another classic Fever meltdown because in true Indiana fashion, they nearly blew it again. At one point, they were cruising 55-2. Midway through the third thanks to Sophie's hot hand and some solid team support. But the moment they relaxed, the wheels fell all the way off. Suddenly...
Here, it's not just Caitlin Clark. If you wear that Indiana Fever jersey, consider it done. The refs are not going to be fair, and they are going to cheat and do whatever it takes to do it the high rep.
Seattle ripped off a 10-2 run, trimming the lead to just 4. And what should have been an easy drama-free win instantly turned into a nail-biter. Seattle stormed all the way back, closing the gap to 73-72 with just over 3 minutes left. And you could feel every Fever fan's heart drop. We've all seen this script before, and it rarely ends well. This team has a fourth-quarter curse. They just forget how to finish games, and it's brutal to watch. Kelsey Mitchell rough night doesn't even cover it. Watching her shoot was like watching someone try to play piano with oven mitts. She went 3 for 16 from the field and 0 for 8 from deep. Painful. Luckily, others stepped up to stop the bleeding. Aaliyah Boston
Williams storms inside, can't finish it, follows it up into the arms of Bibby, just signed for the rest of the season by Indiana. Been a perfect fit at the stretch 4. Cunningham connects on a 3.
And you just look at her frame, 6'6" and super long.
Cunningham connects on another.
Through huge, dropping her 6th straight double-double with 16 points and 12 rebounds on 7 of 11 shooting. And when everything was falling apart, she single-handedly saved the game, rattling off a personal 9-point run in the fourth quarter that kept the Fever alive. Her resurgence couldn't have come at a better time. After weeks of struggling without Caitlin Clark, Boston finally looked like the dominant force fans know she can be. If she keeps this up, the Fever might just survive this brutal stretch. Boston's presence in the paint, her physical defense, her rim protection. Everything clicked again. 3. And with Sophie Cunningham carrying so much of the scoring load, watching Boston attack the rim, box out hard.
Fever did everything possible to blow a game, but still come out with the win. That was a near epic level collapse, folks. Wow, it should have never gotten that close. Lexi Hull, Stephanie White waited till the very, very last minute to put Hull in on defense. She should have been in there from 2 minutes in, 2.5 minutes in on defense. They could not seem to get a big rebound to save their life. and this almost turned into a disaster.
And contest everything in sight has been one of the rare bright spots in what's been a chaotic, messy season. Veteran leadership has been Indiana's lifeline during this injury-riddled stretch, and Natasha Howard deserves major credit. She quietly dropped 21 points and has become the team's emotional anchor. While everything else feels shaky, Howard's been carving up defenses, finishing smart around the rim like the seasoned pro she is. Her veteran savvy and basketball IQ have been priceless for a squad that often looks completely lost without Caitlin Clark running the show. Howard knows her role inside out.
Inside, Howard lays it in. Nobody in the league at 6'4" or taller averages more assists than Aaliyah Boston. Well, you know, what happens off a deflection from a defensive player if it hits the rim? Shot clock still would reset. It doesn't have to be a shot. As Howard somehow spins that in, plus
executes it perfectly. No overreaching, no wild hero ball, just clean, consistent basketball. That kind of professionalism separates good teams from championship contenders. In a league where too many players are chasing clout instead of staying in their lane, Howard's approach is a breath of fresh air. Meanwhile, Seattle had every chance to steal this one. They had looks, they had opportunities, but when crunch time hit, they completely unraveled. Wide open in shots, missed. Execution gone. It's becoming their identity this season. Get close, then crumble. Skylar Diggins missed not one but 2 wide-open threes that could have flipped the whole game on its head. And Nika Awick, who finished with 16 points, straight up disappeared in the fourth when her team needed her to take over. Then came the dagger in the final
games from Sophie Cunningham, the only player on the Indiana Fever to make her threes tonight. The Indiana Fever were 4 of 21 from downtown, and Sophie Cunningham hit all 4 of those threes. 17 points. And the difference between this and the Lynx game, which was Sophie Cunningham's last really good breakout game, this wasn't late. This was, oh, we're struggling offensively. Somebody needs to come through. And Sophie.
2 seasons end.
Seconds, Gabby Williams had the perfect chance. A wide open look at the buzzer to tie it. The release was smooth, clean, but heartbreak hit as the ball rimmed out. Basketball can be cruel like that. One bounce decides if it's magic or misery. And right now, Seattle's living in misery. They're sitting at 16-13, trending in the wrong direction, having dropped 3 of their last 4 home games. That's brutal timing. With the playoff race on fire, there's zero room for error left. The Western Conference is a straight-up logjam, one of the tightest we've seen in years. And Seattle's running out of time to fix their late game meltdowns. Home court advantage and playoff seeding on the line every single night. And Seattle keeps missing the mark. For Indiana, though, this was huge. The win pushed the Fever to 17.
Players looking like they need a breather.
Yes.
Cunningham lays it in, going backdoor on Diggins. Well, you know, what happens off a deflection from a defensive player if it hits the rim? Shot clock still would reset. It doesn't have to be a shot. As Howard somehow spins that in, plus the foul.
You see her cutting through the lanes. Skylar Diggins is inside, so she's the one left to take the Howard cut. What a tough shot.
12, locking them into 5th place in the standings and giving them the all-important tiebreakers over both the 6th place Storm and the 7th place Las Vegas Aces, 2 teams they could be battling down to the wire. At season's end, even crazier, they've now won 5 straight games without Caitlin Clark, which is wild considering how much they leaned on her early in the year. Indiana is now 97 without Clark. A shockingly solid record for a team everyone thought would collapse the moment their superstar went down. But here's the twist. This success, without her, raises a big question. When exactly is she coming back?
I'm not saying that your job is easy, but when it is a simple call right in front of your face multiple times, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What call are you like bugged out?
All of them.
Most? Everything?
Like, it's just like they're just so inconsistent. Like, that's my thing. Like, if you're on the other team and you're going to be fouling the shit out of me,
yeah,
cool. But let me do it to you.
Let you, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You want
like,
consistency then.
Yeah, like just give. And I think that's players across the league and like new fans across the country. Like everyone's like, what is going on with the refs? And I'm like,
because the road ahead, it only gets tougher. The Fever's next stretch is make or break. Every game dripping with playoff implications, and every possession potentially defining their season. Caitlin Clark's looming return could flip the entire playoff picture on its head. Fans are buzzing. If the Fever are this good without her, what happens when their floor general is back on the court orchestrating everything? We're talking about a rookie who's already shifted the league's entire energy, and now she's about to rejoin a team riding a 5-game win streak. Sophie Cunningham stepped up as the emotional spark. Natasha Howard's been the calming vet, and Aaliyah Boston looks dominant again. Add Clark's playmaking and deep-range shooting, and suddenly Indiana doesn't just look like a playoff team, they look dangerous. But here's the real storyline. Has this injury stretch actually made the Fever better? Without leaning on Clark for every bucket and every big moment, other players have been forced to evolve. That could make them lethal when she returns because now opposing defenses can't just load up on one star. The question
is huge for us. She's really been the key. She came into this league predominantly playing on the low block, getting a lot of post touches when she was in college and her rookie year. And then, last year, her first year with Caitlin, playing a lot in the two-man. And then this year we're asking her to be a facilitator as well. A hub for us on the offensive end of the floor while being more versatile on the defensive end than she probably has ever been. And she's just continued to step up to the challenge and grow and be better. She's really the rock.
How patient will the Fever be? Do they ease Clark back to protect her long-term health? Or do they unleash her full throttle with playoff positioning on the line? Either way, the WNBA is on notice. Indiana's not sneaking up on anyone anymore. They're coming, and they're coming fast. And let's be real, this whole situation has lit a fire under the WNBA fan base like never before. People aren't just watching Caitlin Clark highlights anymore. They're locked in on the entire Indiana Fever squad. Ticket sales are climbing, merch is flying off shelves, and even casual fans are picking sides in every single game. Sophie Cunningham's blonde bomber moment turned her into an instant fan favorite. Aaliyah Boston's dominance in the paint has silenced doubters, and Natasha Howard's veteran leadership has kept
in the WNBA. I kind of already went off on it, but it's just atrocious. Really, really bad. There have got to be rules to present overt physicality from dominating the game. And that's what we've got. We've got it in the NBA. We've got it in the WNBA. Nobody wants to call a bunch of fouls, but these officials don't know what a foul is and a foul isn't. They can't even tell when a ball goes out of bounds. You've got 2 million plus people watching some of these games. You have got to have a correctly officiated product, or at least confidently officiated product.
This team from completely unraveling all of that while Clark, one of the most hyped rookies ever, is still waiting to hit the floor again. It's wild to think that a team once written off as a rebuilding project is now playing with legit swagger and winning games against playoff-caliber opponents. The chemistry, clicking, the energy through the roof. And when Clark finally returns, the Fever might not just be playoff ready. They could be a nightmare matchup for anyone in the bracket. So, buckle up, because if you thought the drama was wild now, wait until Caitlin Clark suits back up and this already surging Indiana squad gets its superstar back. The rest of the league better be watching closely, because the Fever is starting to look scary good. What makes this even crazier is how fast the narrative around Indiana has flipped. Just a month ago, people were questioning if this roster even had enough depth to survive.
Sophie the Trophy lit it up again tonight. Man, she has been nothing short of spectacular as of late. 5 of 6 from the floor, 4 of 5 from 3, 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 17 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. Sophie, the blonde bomber, has been on fire. Sophie stepped it up in a big time way. That is what you need. When your best player is out, you need the ancillary pieces to step up and deliver. And that is what Sophie Cunningham.
Without Caitlin Clark. Now they've ripped off wins, climbed the standings, and suddenly look like one of the toughest outs in the league. The biggest difference, confidence. Players who once seemed hesitant now look fearless. Sophie Cunningham pulling up from deep without a blink. Aaliyah Boston punishing defenders in paint. Natasha Howard bringing poise and physicality every possession. That growth doesn't just disappear when Clark returns. It compounds. And here's the scary part for everyone else. Clark's absence forced Indiana to develop a true next player up mentality. That means when she comes back, she's not stepping into the same team she left behind. She's joining one that already believes it can win big without her. Combine that with Clark's elite passing and shot creation. That's the kind of dangerous chemistry that turns playoff races upside down. The Fever went from barely hanging on to potentially becoming the team nobody wants to face.
Indiana Fever just almost pushed me to a heart attack. The Indiana Fever nearly blow a 12-point fourth quarter lead. We allow the Seattle Storm to go on an 11-0 run in the fourth quarter. Stephanie White, I keep telling y'all, I don't trust her. I'm sorry. We give up a 11-0 run within the last 4 minutes to let this team cut the lead down.
Everything's on the line. Indiana has to keep stacking wins if they want to hold on to their playoff spot, because Clark's absence is still one massive question mark. She showed up to the arena in full game gear, shorts, sneakers, the whole look, yet never actually suited up. That's got everyone buzzing. Is the team just playing it super safe with her recovery? Or is there something more going on behind the scenes? With the playoffs coming fast every single day of uncertainty matters out west, it's chaos. Teams are piled on top of each other in the standings like rush hour traffic, where one bad week can send you crashing down the board. Every win counts. Every tiebreaker's huge. And yeah, every single referee call or missed call could decide a season, which brings it right back to the core problem, the officiating. It's become the defining disaster of this entire WNBA season. That might sound dramatic, but look at the product. Incredible games and elite performances are being overshadowed by blown whistles, inconsistent calls, and straight-up negligence from refs who look completely out of their depth.
And it's dangerous.
Literally, players are getting hurt because officials can't control the physicality. Stars like Caitlin Clark are sitting out weeks because no one's stepping in to stop the reckless, borderline dirty defense being thrown at them. The damage...
A lot of ups and downs in the WNBA this season. To take care of business in a winning streak like this, what does that sort of say about how this team's coming together?
Yeah, you know, Seattle's a great team, great team, and it's hard to play here. And so we knew that. We knew that they just came off kind of a bad loss against LA. And so they were hungry for a win. But for us, it's not about other teams. It's about our standard. It's about stacking the days. And I think that where our mental's at as a team and as individuals, we're in a really good spot. And, you know, it's not going to be easy moving forward. But I think today we stayed true to the scout. We trusted the offense. Kelsey has been having a hell of a season. She was a little bit off, but she facilitated for us offensively down the stretch. And it just shows that everyone has something to give, even if your scoring's not going to be there. But I don't know, I'm just proud of our team, and I'm proud.
It isn't just physical. It's hitting the league's reputation hard. Case in point, Sophie Cunningham getting thrown to the floor with no whistle. And somehow that's just another day in the WNBA this season. That missed call wasn't just a blown whistle. It was a perfect snapshot of everything broken in the league right now. Caitlin Clark screaming from the bench. That wasn't just raw passion. It was pure frustration boiling over after weeks of the same nonsense. These aren't isolated moments anymore. They're symptoms of a bigger crisis threatening to derail what should have been one of the most exciting and Dosto. Yeti Hemari ECLUIVS 2025 Key Full Walkthrough or Hidden Secrets. Glowing Star. Agar Apko video Pazanayiho to like, comment or share Zero or Carrion. Or subscribe Carrion Talk Apko Milti Rahi Sabs Peli exclusive updates.
Bell.
Milt Hain Eagle video me. Till then stay creative and stay awesome. Smiling face with sunglasses.